What's going on YouTube? Today I'm going to be doing a quick little review of the Military Arms Corps MAC5K. This is an MP5K clone made in Turkey, and from my understanding they're made on HK factory machinery and they are built to NATO spec. So before we really get into it, I'm just going to go over some of the accessories I put on this weapon just to get it to be how I kind of want it. On top I got a Primary Arms ACSS. This is their Gemini 1x Prism reticle. I got a Streamlight ProTac HLX Pro and an SB Tactical side folding brace. So it makes it really small, you can fit it in a bag. And I have the UTG Pro. This is their monolithic handguard with Picatinny rail. This is a game changer. If you have an MP5, you got to get one of these. So real quick before I go outside and shoot this and show you guys some of the accuracy you can get out of one of these, a side note on it is the magazines that come with this are not made to spec. I ordered this gun from Atlantic Firearms about 3 weeks ago, and 3 days into owning it, both of the mags on it had cracked and the feed lips just broke on them, and it would not stay seated into the firearm. It would wiggle. If you wiggled it, it would come right out. So I messaged Atlantic Firearms and they responded pretty quickly, and they got me in touch with SDS Imports, which is I guess who imports these into the States. And that was about 2 weeks ago. I've not heard back from any of them. I have not received a magazine. I haven't received anything about it. So I went ahead and went out of my way and bought a proper German-made HK magazine for about 80 bucks, and flawless, not a single issue with it. Great lockup, barely any wiggle. All MP5s pretty much have a wiggle from what I've heard, and I've shot about 500 rounds through it and not a single malfunction aside from the MAC5 magazines that come with it. Other than that, flawless gun. I haven't even cleaned it yet, and it just eats anything you put in. I've shot steel, I've shot 115 grain, 147 grain, suppressed, unsuppressed, not a single hang up. So these are the two magazines that came with the MAC5K. They're both marked MAC or MC. And the real issue I've had with them is that they've cracked. So right here, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if it'll focus. Right here, it's split. The magazine cracked. I guess the welds were, it's cheap metal, I don't know. But it's cracked. There we go, that's a little better. That was the first mag. The second mag hasn't cracked fully yet, but it is starting to separate. You can kind of see it right here. But neither of the mags would lock it to the gun. I'll demonstrate. So we are clear. Magazine into the gun. Not a problem, doesn't fall out, but if you push it forward, it just slides out. In, out. I'm not sure if I think it's because of this little dimple that's on the end of them. It's not really a piece of metal that's welded on. It's more of just like a raised, hammered out piece of the steel. But both of the mags seem to have this issue. Both of them just slides right out. Like that one's a little tougher. It's covered in carbon, but in, out. Even if I smack it, I know you're not supposed to, but if you smack it and try to seat it, it just comes right out. But with the proper HK magazine, proper lockup, nothing. Doesn't fall out. It's not coming out. And the only big issue is with this is that when you're shooting the gun, after 2 or 3 shots, the magazine by itself, I guess due to the recoil, even though it's just a soft shooting gun, it'll fall out of place and you'll have a double feed or failure to pick up a round at all, failure to extract. I've had so many malfunctions with it that I've decided that just buying an HK mag is probably the best money saver down the road than trying to buy more of these MAC mags because they just don't work. So we're gonna do some shooting here. I've got my target set up about 25 yards downrange. I'm gonna be shooting suppressed and unsuppressed. I have my silencer co. This is the Hybrid 46 with the tri-lobe adapter. Kind of a big suppressor for this gun, but definitely keeps the decibels down. I'm gonna be shooting just some cheap Monarch brass 9mm, 115 grain, full metal jacketed. And I've got a target set up about 25 yards. And I'm gonna try to get the camera on it to see what kind of groups I can get, but it's pretty much a tack driver. I'm gonna do 5 shots, suppressed, center mass at 25 yards. So this is the first 25-yard 5-shot group. Pretty much all center mass, really accurate gun. I have sighted in this this reticle, so it's pretty much on at 25 yards. I'm gonna keep the camera zoomed in for the next 5 shots. I'm gonna aim for the head. So it looks like I was a little high. 1 hit directly on the head, and it looks like the rest are pretty much right above that first initial shot. Still very accurate. Okay, I'm gonna shoot 5 shots unsuppressed now. So I just got back from shooting, and as expected, ran flawlessly. I had some footage of shooting the MAC5K mags with it that came with the gun, but I couldn't even get a single round of chamber as they're pretty much broken beyond use at this point. So that footage was pretty much trashed. And all in all, really soft shooting gun, really accurate and really reliable actually. That's about 550 rounds I have on this gun total. I shot a bunch off camera just to make sure that the magazines were going to be an issue, and they were. So if you buy one of these, make sure you either check your magazines when you get them, or whenever you add this gun to your cart, go ahead and add a couple HK mags as well, because those MAC5K mags will not function in this gun. But definitely a good purchase if you're looking for something like this. Very good backpack gun, functions perfectly, super cool, aesthetic, and only about $1,000 bucks. Thank you guys for watching.